Now there's a little piece of logic we need to clean up before we go on, and that has to do with up here protecting from that no position. Well, it turned out when we originally did the find, then this was meaningful. But as soon as we added 1 to it, then if this does return no position, once we add 1 to it, it won't. So as soon as we did that, we could no longer really test to see if this was no position. So we either have to make our test right here and add 1 to it inside here. We could do that, right? So we want to first test here and then inside here. So wait, and if it's not equal to no position, then we can add 1 to it. Equals, and we can just do a plus equals 1. Right? And so just a little bit of logic there that we need to clean up. So same thing down here. As soon as we find out here, we'd have to need to protect. If we found it right here, then we would want to subtract that. Now this gets pretty messy. So it's making sense as we're working through it one piece at a time. But when we come back in 3 weeks and look at this, we will no longer know what all of these details are. So this is the gets the index at the first period. And then right here we want to say add 1 to the index to get the character count, right? And then we'll just keep track of that. So then we want, this is the substring from the beginning of the string to the first period. Okay. So now we've written notes so that when we come back in 3 weeks, we'll know what did we do, right? And again, we're going to want to do that same kind of thing here. But our protection goes inside here. So it's after we do it. So if, and here we want to do y how many is not equal to string no position. Okay, now what we want to do inside here is we have to find it first. Here's where we're going to get, right here's where we're going to get that no position. And so we want to bring the minus how many to the inside. So we do y how many. And now we'll do a minus equals what how many. But again, this is not going to make sense to us when we come back. So we want to make sure we comment it. And then we'll put all of this in the if statement. Okay, so let's comment it. What are we getting here? We're getting the index. Get the index of the second period. Okay, and then compute how many characters. Yeah, and so that tells us that's what we did, is we computed how many, and then we're just going to get the substring. And this is when comments become really valuable, right? To help us remember when we come back what we did to do that. And if we ever need to use this logic again, it'll help us walk through it again. So get this substring contains the second sentence. And there you go. Now we've documented those decisions that we made about how to get those. And there's usually a few ways to get it, so it might not be the only way, but this way worked for us today.